Looking at the NAS100 market, this past week, we can see that it pushed up and closed with a strong bullish candle. So it's really interesting to know what price could potentially do for next week. And if you're looking for that, you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm going to go over my entries, my exits, and my profit zones for the NAS100 market. And of course, starting here on the weekly time frame, we do see this bullish engulfing candle. But what I really want to do is clean up this chart from some of the lines that we drew last week. We will draw some fresh lines. However, there are already lines here that I do want to keep because price did not get to these levels. I want you to know what they are. So this next level is at 22,393, and then we do have a level down here at 22,177. I do have some old stuff, but I'm not going to go down that far because price pushed past the previous week's candle and is now making a new high inside of the market at 23,167, which is super exciting. So we'll see what happens this upcoming week. So as far as my game plan, let's go ahead and go down to the daily time frame and just focus on these levels that I mentioned here. We finally broke out of a consolidation, so I do want to draw another level, and that's going to be about here. And let me change my box. Yellow. Okay, great. If you've taken a trade and you're looking for some feedback on your trade, maybe you took a trade and it was successful and you want to know what you should do right in order to continue that success, and you have no one to talk to give you some valid feedback, then go ahead and check out the Express Trade Review in the comment section below, because in that you will get my personalized review. You'll also get some tips and things that I use in order to find profitable trade. I tend to have this turned around within 48 hours. So you could be able to use the information for your next trade. And you'll also get a PDF where I'll share with you the top 3 things that I look for every time before taking a trade that really emphasizes the entries that I take inside of the market. Go ahead and click in the description box below and look for the Express Trade Review, so that way you can get your trades reviewed by a professional. So this yellow rectangle is now sitting around 23,121, and I think that's about all I want to draw on this. So let's go ahead and go to the H4. Okay, cool. So we can see a lot more detail now here on the H4 time frame. We just have waves of the market we could see very clearly. We do have some level of resistance right here, so I do want to mark that off with a trend line. So let's go ahead and mark that off. Okay, perfect. So this line is sitting at 23,016. And you can see that price almost tapped into that. So that just adds to more confirmation in terms of me drawing the level. And then there is another level right here at, let's see, this was at 22,801. So let me go ahead and draw that. Okay, cool. This is looking good. So these candles up here, you may be wondering about that and the fact that we drew the yellow level on the other time frame. Let's go ahead and push it up. So that way we're now sitting at resistance, and this level is at 23,160. And everything else is looking pretty okay. I like how it tapped into all these supports here. And this is just something we're not going to pay attention to right now. It's basically just noise, and it happened in the past. We want to focus on most recent price action. So going to the H2 time frame. All right, so now we have even more data inside of this market, and we can see our levels a lot more clearly. Everything is looking good. So let's go to the H1 time frame before we get into our game plan for the upcoming week. All right, so looking at this level here, I do see a nice resistance here. Let's see how it looks if we pushed it up. Now we're sitting right at this level. I do like that. However, if you did have it below like we did before, then that could be cool too, because we do have a lot of wicks in this area, but I like pushing it up here, and it's sitting perfectly at this support. So we're going to keep it right there. And now this level is sitting at 23,038. And looking at this level, I still like that. Okay, great. Yeah, there's nothing else that I really want to change. Let's just go down here. Price wasn't down here this past week, so there's really nothing for us to change here. But let's focus on these areas up here with new price action. I've created another community here on School called Consistent Profitable Traders. And if you want to join, you can go to school.com/traders in order to join this free membership. I have a number of things here inside of the community. You can see that the community is growing. There are people being added almost every single day. And then inside of the classroom, I do have some things here. I'm constantly adding new things, new resources for new traders. And if you go over to the calendar, then you'll see that I have a monthly call with everybody inside of this group. So if you want to join this community, go ahead and go to school.com/traders and I'll see you there. All right, cool. So now that we got our levels, let's go ahead and come up with a game plan for this upcoming week. So one of the things that I see right here is a resistance point, and this is at 23,078. And let's measure this so that way we see how many points we're working with. Okay, there's only 37 points, so there's not a whole lot happening there. And then two, if we measure the range from here to here, there's only 19 points, so really nothing there. So what I would actually want to do is take this and move it up, and I would want to see price either break this and continue to push up and see what happens, see if it comes into this range for potential continuation of the market. So let's go ahead and draw that out. So this is what I want to see. Come up here and like continue, something like this. Or what I would like to see is for price, if it's going to come down, maybe to one of these levels and then come back up. I would love to see that. So let's go ahead and mark off this level right here because I do see this as a point of potential resistance or at least support if it comes down here. So this is at 22,924. And price could potentially do a deeper retracement to this level that we marked off before and come up. So basically, I would just want to see price bounce off of these levels or any of these levels to continue up. So since it's making an all-time high in the market, it can be a little risky. So I like to just wait to see what price action is going to do. That's actually what I'm going to be doing for this week. But if I wanted to know where price could potentially go, let me go ahead and go to the H4 time frame and then pull out my Fibonacci retracement tool and see where price could potentially go. So I'm just marking the low and the high. Then here's a level right here at 23,301. It's really close to a psychological number, which is 23,300 flat. So that could be an area I probably wouldn't target anything much further than that, mainly because there is a bigger opportunity for price to do a retracement. And now if we're looking at these Fibonacci levels, we can see that price could potentially bounce off of the 50 and so forth. So that's a little deep, but we're just going to stop it here. But anyway, if you like this breakdown, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel because currently we are posting 3 times a week. That's Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. So make sure you subscribe so that way you don't miss any of the videos, and I'll see you there.